All right, so we are talking about the criteria for the geography field study report. It should not exceed 1,000 words. If students exceed 1,000 word limit, there is a penalty of 10% of the score that the candidates achieve. So if you get 30 out of 40 and you exceed the word limit, I would have to take 10% of that, minus 10% of that score. All right, so we were looking at the table of content. This is worth 1 mark. The table of content, it says here, accurately presented in the study and properly presented with correct page numbers. Now, in order to get your 1 mark for your table of content, you must have the page numbers there. The page numbers must also be accurate. So if I go to the introduction, I should see page 3. If I go to page 7, I should see presentation and analysis of data. So the page numbers must be accurately labeled for you to get that 1 mark, and every single mark is important with your SBA. All right, the second criteria we're looking at now is the introduction. The introduction is worth 2 marks. For the introduction, you're given a clear overview with justification and narrows the research to the area of study. Overview means that if you're talking, if your SBA is on tourism, in your introduction, you need to talk about tourism and you justify why is it that you're doing the topic? Why is it so important to conduct this study on tourism? So that is what you're given. And that is for 2 marks. So you don't need 2 pages because remember, you should not exceed 1,000 words, right? So as long as you talk about the topic and give a reason for doing the study, then you will get your 2 marks for your introduction. All right, let us look at this sample SBA. So we had looked at the table of content. All right, so this is this person's introduction. So they were looking at cruise tourism. So now they're giving an overview of cruise tourism. Cruise tourism is a form of traveling for leisure purposes involving an all-inclusive holiday on the cruise ship and so on. So the person is discussing tourism. All right, now I'm gonna jump to the last sentence. It says, the reason why I'm doing this topic is because I want to find out how the Falmouth Port in Trelawney really benefits the residents of the parish. In doing this research, there's a few things, or it should be there are a few things I wish to accomplish. One out of the few is to, I think this is incomplete, right? This introduction is incomplete. But the person basically has the overview and they have stated their justification as to why they are doing the study and what they hope to accomplish. Does everybody understand so far? All right, great. Good. All right, next criteria, the aim of the study. Now, the aim of the study, it says at least one aim clearly defines and focuses the study. So this aim is worth 2 marks. So if your topic is tourism, your aim must be specific in narrowing what is it about tourism that I am going to study. So for example, tourism is so wide. An aspect that can be studied from this wide topic, we can narrow it down now to the benefits associated with tourism, or we can say the impacts of tourism, right? So that would be narrowing your topic down to a specific area, and we can use this narrow topic that we have come up with, we can put it in the form of a question. And that is why this person now has for their aim an investigation into the growth of tourism in Falmouth due to the establishment of a port in Falmouth, Trelawney. So it is not just tourism they're looking at. They are looking at the growth of tourism in Falmouth and how residents in Falmouth basically benefit from its establishment. So that is narrowly the tourism topic. Question? Go ahead. Yes, it is that short. You're just telling what exactly you're going to be doing. So yes, it is that short. All right, so we were looking at the aim. Here is another aim. This says to describe the factors influencing the location of the cruise ship port in Falmouth, Trelawney. So this again is a narrowed topic. So the aim is specific. The general topic would be tourism, and the narrowed topic or aim would be to describe the factors influencing the location of the cruise ship port in Falmouth. All right, so that's criteria. Yes. Okay, go ahead. Yes, you have to find the location. That is why I said when we started that the Geography SBA is a field report. And that is one of the skills in geography, to do field researches, to go on field trips, and then to produce a survey or report based on this field investigation. So yes, it's based on somewhere that you would have to visit in your parish. Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be in your parish, but because of COVID-19, we don't want to venture anywhere outside of where we live. Okay? 'Cause last year, the students, we went to Falmouth. I think the year before that, we went to Yalas River. We have been all over, but because of COVID, we want to stick to topics that you don't have to venture very far from your home. All right, now we are at the fourth criteria, which is location of the study. Now, this is a very important section because this is where you're going to have to draw your own maps, right? The location of study is worth 4 marks. To get this 4 marks, you have to do at least 2 sketch maps. One of the map will be a map of the territory or a large part of it, more than 3/4 of that territory, right? So the map, the location map, for example, we're living in Jamaica. So your field research is based in Jamaica. So your first map would be a map of Jamaica, not a map that you print from the internet. It has to be a map that you draw, and the map must be drawn to scale. And you're going to put in features such as main roads, airport, bays, and things like that. So that's your first map. Your map must have all the elements of a map: your title, your key, your legend, your north sign, right? All the elements. Your second map. All right, so we are looking at the location of the study. The second map now is called the site map. The second map will show the specific area that you are studying. So let's say, for example, we are looking at, we're in Jamaica, the territory is Jamaica, but we are looking at the cruise ship port in Falmouth. So our second map now would be a map of the cruise ship port in Falmouth. So if you are doing traffic congestion on Barnett Street, your first map would be a map of Jamaica showing St. James and where Montego Bay is. And your second map now will be a map of Barnett Street. So that map will show like the different roads, If there are rivers nearby, different settlements, let's say Barney Street has several gas stations, you're going to pinpoint where these gas stations are located on the map. And again, your map will have all the elements of a map. Your scale, your key, your compass, your title, your border. And once you have all of that, try to make your maps as neat as possible. The maps are going to be colored. Then you will get your 4 marks. Yes. You have to draw 2 maps. Yes, ma'am. 2 different maps. What did I say one map would be of Davin? If you're doing Barnett Street with a specific location, good. If you're doing that, let us look at a sample location of study. All right, you will need to write just a little bit of information describing the location. Where is Trelawney and so on in terms of giving latitude, longitude, distance, just a little bit of information. Not too much because we don't want to exceed our word limit. And then I'm showing you a sample map here. All right, so this is Amelia's map. Amelia says she can't draw. Amelia drew her map. What we do, what I do usually is that we sit together in the library and we get a grease paper, so we trace the outline, we measure to see where the latitude and longitudinal lines are, we put it on the paper, ensure, because we have to make sure our maps are accurate. So that is what we do. So this map actually looks like it was printed, but it's not. All we do was to get the outline correct, get the measurement for the lines of latitude, and then put in the different features freehand, like the rivers and the roads. And Amelia sat and drew this map. Even though it took her probably 4 weeks to 6 weeks, the map was still finished in time to hand in the SBA, right? So I know you guys can do it. Others have done it before. This map looks good, but I'm telling you that this was not the best. You still get your marks as long as you have all the elements of the map and your map is good, right? It doesn't have to be, we're not looking for a perfect map because you're not cartographers. Yes. When you say the map not draw properly, what, when you say the map is not drawn properly, what do you mean? No, you won't have that. You won't have that because we will trace the outline to ensure that it is the exact size. Alright? So you won't have that. And the parish borders and so on will be traced. So you won't have that. You're not gonna draw it freehand, you know. We're gonna measure and we're gonna draw. So these lines that you see here, these were measured to ensure accurate distance. So we know when this part of Jamaica fall in here, it is accurate. So our map is accurate, right? And it falls within the same line of latitude and longitude. This longitudinal line here, this is where it actually falls because we trace it. So you're not drawing freehand. We are tracing from another map. You put in your colors and so on. Notice there's a different color for the study area. So we went to Trelawney. So to identify the area, we use a different color. And you would have to color your maps using pencil crayon. All right, this is a sample second map. So this is where the port is. So here is the port. She has her key again. These are some roads surrounding the port. And she has her key. So it's not difficult to do. It's just that it's going to take a little time, right? And you have to be patient. Some students, they do the map 2, 3 times before they get it right. Right? That's why I say some persons it took 6 weeks they're working on their map. So today we might start and we do the